Hello and welcome, everyone. As we journey through our senior years, many of us notice that our bodies do not work quite the same way they used to. One of the most common challenges we face is managing our blood sugar levels. Perhaps you have experienced that afternoon slump of energy, or your doctor has mentioned that your blood sugar numbers are creeping a little higher than they should be. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Many seniors are looking for natural, supportive ways to help their bodies maintain better balance. That is precisely why we are here today. This video is dedicated to exploring a remarkable and natural vegetable that has been used for centuries in various cultures around the world to help support stable blood sugar levels. It is called bitter melon. Now, I want to be very clear from the very start. This information is for educational purposes. Bitter melon is a powerful food, and it is not a magic cure or a replacement for any medication your doctor has prescribed. Think of it as a potential helper, a natural tool you can learn about, and then discuss with your healthcare provider to see if it might be a good addition to your personal health plan. Our goal today is to give you a clear, straightforward understanding of what bitter melon is, how it works in the body, and the important things you need to consider before trying it. We want to empower you with knowledge so you can have an informed conversation with your doctor and make the best choices for your well-being. So, let us begin this journey of discovery together. Before we talk about how bitter melon works, let us get to know what it actually is. Bitter melon, which you might also hear called bitter gourd or by its Indian name, Karela, is a unique vegetable. It is not like a sweet potato or a regular cucumber. As you can see here on the screen, it has a very distinct, bumpy, and wrinkled skin, almost like a cucumber that has been through an adventure. It grows on a vine in tropical and subtropical regions, and it is a very common ingredient in the cuisines of Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, and South America. Now, the most important thing to know about bitter melon, and the reason for its name, is its taste. It is, quite frankly, very bitter. This bitterness is a key part of its power, as the compounds that create that strong taste are also the ones that provide the health benefits we will discuss. When you cut it open, you will find a hollow center filled with pith and seeds. Often, the seeds and the white pith are removed before cooking to make it a little less bitter. While its strong flavor might be surprising at first, it is a cherished food in many cultures, often stir-fried, stuffed, or used in soups and teas. So remember, bitter melon is a natural vegetable, not a laboratory-made chemical. Its long history of use is a testament to its perceived value in supporting health. To understand why bitter melon can be helpful, we first need to understand a common challenge many seniors face with blood sugar. Think of the food you eat, especially carbohydrates like bread, rice, and fruit, as fuel. When you digest this food, it turns into sugar, called glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Your blood sugar level is simply the amount of this glucose traveling in your blood. Now, to get this glucose out of your blood and into your cells where it can be used for energy, your body needs a key. That key is a hormone called insulin, which is made by your pancreas. In a younger body, this system usually works very smoothly. You eat, your blood sugar rises, insulin is released, it unlocks your cells, the sugar moves in, and your blood sugar level goes back down. However, as we age, our bodies can change. Sometimes, our cells stop responding as well to the insulin key. This is a condition called insulin resistance. The key is there, but the lock is a little rusty. So, the sugar has trouble getting into the cells, and it stays in the bloodstream, leading to higher blood sugar levels. The pancreas tries to help by producing even more insulin, but over time, it can get tired. This is why managing blood sugar can become more difficult for seniors. It is not your fault. It is a natural change that can happen in the body. The goal, then, is to find ways to help clean that rusty lock so insulin can work better again. Now, let us connect the dots. How can a bitter vegetable help with this problem of insulin resistance and high blood sugar? Scientists have found that bitter melon is not just a simple food. It contains several powerful natural compounds that act in very clever ways inside your body. While the chemical names are complex, their jobs are easy to understand. First, bitter melon contains substances that act like a gentle exercise for your cells. They help to clean the rust off the lock, making your cells more sensitive and responsive to your body's own insulin. This means the insulin key works much better, allowing sugar to move from your blood into your cells more efficiently. Second, bitter melon has another compound that acts a little like a sponge in your intestines. When you eat a meal, this sponge soaks up some of the sugars from your food, slowing down how quickly they are absorbed into your bloodstream. Imagine pouring sugar into a glass of water. It dissolves quickly. But if you pour it onto a sponge, it releases much more slowly. This helps prevent those sharp, sudden spikes in your blood sugar after you eat. Finally, some research suggests that bitter melon may even help your pancreas, encouraging it to produce a little more insulin when needed. So, in simple terms, bitter melon works in 3 ways. It helps your cells accept insulin better, it slows down sugar from entering your blood, and it may support your pancreas. It is a multi-talented vegetable that tackles the blood sugar problem from several angles. Let us dive deeper into the first and perhaps most important benefit of bitter melon, which is improving insulin sensitivity. Remember our analogy of insulin being a key that unlocks our cells to let sugar in? For many seniors, the locks on the cells become rusty, a condition we call insulin resistance. When this happens, the body's own insulin cannot do its job properly, so sugar builds up in the blood. Now, imagine bitter melon as a special lubricant or a locksmith for those rusty locks. The natural compounds in bitter melon, which we can think of as helper molecules, travel through your body and interact with your cells. They do not force the cells open. Instead, they gently encourage the cells to become more receptive. They help clean and polish the locks, making them responsive again to the insulin key that is already present. This is a very significant benefit because it addresses the root of the problem for many people with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. It is not about adding more keys from the outside. It is about making the locks you already have work better. When your cells are more sensitive to insulin, the sugar in your bloodstream has a clear pathway to enter the cells where it is desperately needed for energy. This process naturally helps to lower the overall level of sugar circulating in your blood. For you, this can translate to more stable energy throughout the day without those extreme highs and crashes. It is a gentle, natural way to support your body's own systems in managing blood sugar effectively. By improving insulin sensitivity, bitter melon helps your body help itself, which is a foundational goal for long-term health management. The second major way bitter melon helps stabilize your blood sugar is by managing what happens right after you eat a meal. When you enjoy a meal containing carbohydrates, like rice, pasta, or bread, your body breaks these down into sugars that are then absorbed into your bloodstream through your intestines. This process can sometimes happen very quickly, especially with refined carbohydrates, leading to a rapid and high spike in your blood sugar levels. Think of it like pouring a packet of sugar directly into a glass of water. It dissolves instantly and the water becomes very sweet, very fast. Now, bitter melon works to change this process. It contains special plant fibers and compounds that act like a sponge or a net within your digestive system. When you consume bitter melon with your meal, this sponge moves through your gut along with the other food you have eaten. As the carbohydrates from your meal are broken down into sugar, this sponge soaks up some of that sugar. Instead of all the sugar rushing into your bloodstream at once, it is released slowly and gradually. This is like pouring that same packet of sugar over a dense sponge. The sugar is absorbed and then slowly drips out over time. The result is that your blood sugar rises in a much more controlled and gentle curve after eating, rather than experiencing a sharp, stressful spike. This is incredibly helpful for your body, as it prevents the pancreas from being overworked and gives your insulin system more time to process the sugar efficiently. It is a simple yet powerful mechanism that promotes stability. This is, without a doubt, the most critical part of our discussion. While bitter melon is a natural vegetable, its power to lower blood sugar is very real, and this means we must approach it with caution and respect, especially if you are already taking medication for diabetes. If you are currently using prescribed drugs to manage your blood sugar, such as metformin, glipizide, or especially insulin, adding bitter melon to your routine without medical supervision can be dangerous. Here is why. Both your medication and bitter melon are working towards the same goal, lowering your blood sugar. When you combine them, their effects can add up, potentially leading to your blood sugar dropping too low. This condition is called hypoglycemia, and it is a serious medical emergency. Symptoms of hypoglycemia include shaking, sweating, confusion, dizziness, and extreme weakness. For seniors, the risks of a bad fall or confusion from low blood sugar are particularly high. Therefore, the rule is absolutely clear. You must never replace your medication with bitter melon, and you must never add bitter melon to your diet without first having a conversation with your doctor. Your doctor knows your full medical history and the specific dosage of your medication. They can help you determine if bitter melon is a safe option for you and, if so, might advise you to monitor your blood sugar more closely or even adjust your medication dosage to prevent hypoglycemia. Your safety is the #1 priority. Now, let us get practical. How do you actually prepare and eat this vegetable, especially if you are worried about its famous bitter taste? The good news is that with a few simple preparation techniques, you can significantly reduce the bitterness and make it quite enjoyable. First, selection is key. Look for firm, bright green bitter melons without any soft spots or extensive yellowing. Yellowing indicates it is becoming overripe and will be much more bitter. Once you have your bitter melon, the first step is to wash it thoroughly. Then, slice it in half lengthwise. You will see a hollow center filled with a white, pithy material and seeds. This white pith is a major source of the bitterness. So, take a small spoon and scrape it all out, removing both the pith and the seeds. Next, slice the bitter melon into thin half-moons. Now, for the most important trick to tame the bitterness, place your sliced bitter melon in a bowl and generously sprinkle it with salt. Mix it well with your hands and then let it sit for at least 20 to 30 minutes. You will notice beads of dark green liquid forming on the surface. This liquid contains much of the bitter compounds. After it has sat, rinse the slices very well under cold running water to wash away the salt and the bitter liquid. Some people also give it a quick squeeze to remove excess water. Now, your bitter melon is ready to cook. A simple and delicious way for seniors to try it is in a gentle stir-fry. Sauté some onion and garlic in a little olive oil, add the prepared bitter melon slices, and cook until they become tender and slightly translucent. Then, you can add scrambled eggs or some tofu to make a complete, nutritious, and blood sugar-friendly meal. If the idea of cooking bitter melon still seems a bit daunting, there are other simpler ways to incorporate it into your routine, namely through tea or juice. These methods can be more convenient, but they also require careful consideration. Let us start with bitter melon tea, which is often the gentlest introduction. You can typically find pre-dried bitter melon slices or tea bags in Asian grocery stores or online. To prepare the tea, you simply steep a few dried slices or 1 tea bag in a cup of hot water for about 5 to 10 minutes. The resulting tea has a mild, earthy, and slightly bitter flavor, similar to green tea, but with its own unique character. This method provides a diluted, gentle dose of the beneficial compounds and can be a soothing way to see how your body reacts. On the other hand, bitter melon juice is a much more potent and concentrated option. To make it, you would need a juicer. You take a fresh bitter melon, prepare it by removing the seeds and pith, chop it into small pieces, and then juice it. The resulting liquid is extremely strong and intensely bitter. Because it is so concentrated, the effects on your blood sugar can be rapid and significant. This is why we must exercise extreme caution with the juice. If you decide to try it, you should only start with a very small amount, no more than 1 or 2 tablespoons at a time, and always consume it with a meal to help buffer its powerful effects. Drinking it on an empty stomach can increase the risk of stomach upset or a sudden drop in blood sugar. Whether you choose tea or juice, the same golden rule applies. Start low and go slow. Monitor how you feel and, most importantly, check your blood sugar levels if you have a glucose meter. This will help you understand your personal tolerance and ensure you are using these preparations safely. When it comes to using a powerful natural food like bitter melon, the principle of starting slow is not just a suggestion, it is an essential rule for safety. Unlike a prescribed medication that comes with a precise milligram dosage, bitter melon does not have a one-size-fits-all amount. The right dosage depends on your individual body, your current health status, and how you are consuming it. Therefore, the most responsible approach is to begin with the smallest possible effective amount and observe your body's response over time. If you are eating cooked bitter melon, a very safe starting point is a small serving, about 1/4 to 1/2 of a cup, no more than 2 or 3 times per week. Pay close attention to how you feel after eating it, and if you check your blood sugar, note any changes in your readings. If you are using the tea, 1 week cup every other day is a cautious way to begin. For the highly concentrated juice, as mentioned before, the limit of 1 tablespoon per day, mixed with other vegetable juices or taken with food, is a strict maximum. The goal during this initial phase is to listen to your body's signals. Are you feeling any digestive discomfort? Are you noticing any signs of low blood sugar, such as unusual shakiness or hunger between meals? By introducing bitter melon gradually, you give your body time to adjust and you give yourself the information needed to decide if you should continue, stop, or discuss a different amount with your doctor. Remember, the aim is to find a supportive balance, not to aggressively push your blood sugar down as fast as possible. Patience and careful observation are your best guides on this journey. While bitter melon offers many potential benefits, it is crucial to be aware that, like any substance that has a strong effect on the body, it can also cause side effects in some people. Being informed about these possibilities helps you make a safe choice. The most common side effects are related to the digestive system. Because bitter melon is a fibrous vegetable and contains powerful compounds, it can sometimes cause stomach discomfort, diarrhea, or cramping, especially when you first start consuming it or if you eat too much at once. This is another strong reason to start with very small amounts. There are also more serious considerations for specific groups of people. For instance, pregnant women or those who are trying to become pregnant should absolutely avoid bitter melon. Certain compounds in the vegetable can stimulate the uterus and may increase the risk of contractions or even miscarriage. It is simply not worth the risk during pregnancy. Additionally, individuals with a rare genetic condition called G6PD deficiency should avoid bitter melon, as it may trigger a complication called favism, which involves the breakdown of red blood cells. Furthermore, because bitter melon is processed by the liver, individuals with existing liver conditions should use it with extreme caution and only under a doctor's strict supervision. The most critical side effect, which we have already highlighted but must be repeated, is severe hypoglycemia or dangerously low blood sugar. This risk is highest for anyone on diabetes medication, but it can even occur in people not on medication if they consume a very large quantity of bitter melon, especially in juice form. Knowing these potential side effects empowers you to be cautious and to stop use immediately and consult a doctor if you experience any adverse reactions. It is very important to frame bitter melon correctly in your mind. It is not a magical solution or a standalone cure for blood sugar issues. Instead, you should think of it as one single tool in a much larger toolbox for healthy aging. Relying on bitter melon alone while ignoring other aspects of your lifestyle will not lead to lasting health. True and sustainable blood sugar management comes from a holistic approach, which means looking at your entire way of living. Bitter melon can be a helpful component, but its benefits are greatly supported and amplified when combined with other healthy habits. For example, what you eat for your other meals matters tremendously. A balanced diet rich in other vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains provides steady energy and nutrients without causing the sharp blood sugar spikes that bitter melon works to prevent. Similarly, physical activity is a powerhouse for improving insulin sensitivity. A gentle daily walk, for instance, helps your muscles use sugar for energy, which naturally lowers blood glucose levels. Staying well hydrated by drinking plenty of water is also essential, as it helps your kidneys flush out excess sugar through urine. Furthermore, managing stress and getting good quality sleep are often overlooked but critically important factors, as both stress and poor sleep can raise cortisol levels, which in turn can raise blood sugar. Therefore, view bitter melon as a valuable teammate, not the star player, in your overall health strategy. It works best when it is part of a team that includes a thoughtful diet, regular movement, and healthy lifestyle choices. To ensure your safety, it is vital to clearly understand when it is best to avoid bitter melon completely. While it is a natural food, its potency means it is not suitable for everyone, and in some cases, it can be harmful. Let us go through these situations carefully. First, and most importantly, if you are taking any medication to lower your blood sugar, such as metformin, glympyride, or insulin injections, you must avoid using bitter melon unless your doctor has explicitly given you permission. Combining bitter melon with these medications can lead to a dangerous drop in blood sugar, a condition known as hypoglycemia, which can cause confusion, seizures, or loss of consciousness. Second, pregnant women and those who are breastfeeding must avoid bitter melon. The natural compounds in the vegetable can stimulate the uterus, potentially leading to contractions and increasing the risk of premature labor or miscarriage. Since we do not have enough research on its effects passing into breast milk, it is safest to avoid it entirely during this period. Third, individuals with a specific genetic condition called glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency or G6PD deficiency should not consume bitter melon. For people with this condition, certain substances in bitter melon can trigger the destruction of red blood cells, leading to anemia and other complications. Fourth, if you have known liver disease or consistently show abnormal results in liver function tests, you should be very cautious. Bitter melon is processed by the liver, and in rare cases, especially with high consumption of extracts or juices, it could potentially cause liver inflammation. Lastly, if you have ever had an allergic reaction to bitter melon or other plants in the same family, like cucumber, pumpkin, or melon, you should obviously avoid it. Your health and safety are the top priority, and recognizing these contraindications is a critical step in making an informed decision. Let us take a moment to bring all of this information together. We have covered a lot of ground, so here is a simple recap of the most important points to remember. First, we learned that bitter melon is a unique vegetable with a long history of use. Its powerful natural compounds work in 3 key ways to help stabilize blood sugar. They improve your cell's sensitivity to insulin, they slow down the absorption of sugar from your meals, and they may support your pancreas. Second, and this cannot be overstated, we discussed the crucial precautions. Bitter melon is a potent food, and its most significant risk is causing blood sugar to drop too low, especially if you are already on diabetes medication. This is why speaking with your doctor before trying it is an absolute necessity, not just a suggestion. Third, we emphasized that bitter melon is not a magic bullet or a substitute for a healthy lifestyle. It is best viewed as one supportive tool within a holistic plan that includes a balanced diet, regular gentle exercise, proper hydration, and good sleep. The journey to managing blood sugar as a senior is a marathon, not a sprint. It is about making consistent, small choices that add up to better health over time. Bitter melon could be one of those positive choices for some people, but only when used wisely and safely. We hope this knowledge empowers you to have a productive conversation with your healthcare provider and to take the next steps in your health journey with confidence and clarity. Now that you are equipped with this knowledge, we would love to hear from you. Learning is a two-way street, and your experiences are incredibly valuable to us and to this community. Have you ever tried bitter melon before? If so, what was your experience like? Did you find a way to prepare it that you really enjoy? Maybe you have a family recipe for a stir-fry or a soup that has been passed down through generations. Please share your stories, your tips, and even your questions in the comment section below. Your insight could be the very thing that helps another senior on a similar path. If you found this video helpful and informative, if it clarified what bitter melon is and how to approach it safely, please consider giving it a thumbs up to help others find it too. And if you are interested in more content like this, simple, clear, and practical guides to health and wellness for seniors, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you do not miss our next video. We're here to explore these topics together. Finally, and most importantly, we must end with this reminder. I am a video creator, not a medical doctor. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or another qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Thank you for watching, for taking an active role in your health, and for being a part of our community. Take care of yourselves.